Hello viewers, welcome beyond me, beyond the broadcast. We are still talking about the people with disability on how to create the awareness for them. So we have done the creation of awareness for the disability. So now we have an inspiration on how to break barriers through this broadcast. I hope you will enjoy viewing for this episode 4 about the social media access. This is not just an interview, but it's an interest conversation on how social media can work with the deaf people. I hope you'll enjoy and continue watching us. Give us your comments, like, comment, and share. And this will show that you care about inclusivity. So what I think, okay, first of all, you Collins, are you deaf?
Yes.
From what we have experienced in different fields, and we're trying to match it with the social media, and also it's like any other hearing person. How can we be inclusive in this social media? So what I'm thinking about the social media is we need as deaf community to be inclusive more to this social media, because most of the time we have different challenges and many people are not aware about it, especially people who are doing cameras. Many of them don't understand about us. So we need to, how can we do about it?
Yes, thank you very much. Truly, this is a very beautiful topic. I'm really enjoying it. All right, so let me express myself a little bit about media. Let me give my comments. For example, we have different medias. Just to mention, we have like the national TV, we have the Citizen TV, and those medias that we have. They should reduce their attitude, that they have towards the deaf. Before, the government ratified and said that all broadcasting stations should have an interpreter. Now, by the time the media groups, whenever they need to have an interview for employing an interpreter, they must have a deaf person in the panel to confirm the qualities of the interpreter.
Many times, for example, I've seen an interpreter, maybe she goes to school for 3 months and then she starts saying, I'm a professional interpreter. But for sure, she's not. So we need to train them first about social media. I agree with you.
Yeah, so you see, whenever whenever a deaf person is in the interview, you will get to know, like, you find like this is just a fresh student who is coming to apply for this job. But now, whenever we're doing an interview, that is now being employed. We should have a deaf consultant who will assist in that interview and tell you and give you a report if this interpreter is either qualified or not. Even the deaf, we always focus about the deaf youth, but we forget that we have also the deaf aged who, they always struggle in seeing the television. Then when you find a youth interpreter who is just saying words, the deaf old interpreter is not even understanding, So media should also stop thinking on how we are promoting one side of the hearing side. What about the deaf people? That should be a question that you should have. So I'm encouraging the media team, by the time you're employing interpreters, call an interpreter in the, call a deaf person in the panel, all right? Because we are pressing also when it comes to that size of an interpreter on that screen. It's a very small, it's a very small box that you're seeing there. Then when Ruto or our president is there, or the hearing person is there, he's on a very largest part of the screen. So maybe we can add a little bit for accessibility even to the deaf people. True or false?
Yeah, true.
So what do I mean? We must work hard, lobby, All right. Also, I'm going to ask the social media people or the media people. This mainstream, also we have the deaf people who can edit.
They have a lot of,
all right?
they qualify
people
for
who
it.
can capture moments, people who can do the videography. Don't worry about putting the earphone in the ear and start putting confirming like the voices. We can have a hearing person who deals with sound and that deaf person who deals with the videos. Also, media can also see how a deaf person can become an interpreter, because we have deaf interpreters. We have a hearing person who signs on the other side, then a deaf person on the screen, and sign it in that way and say, hey, President Ruto was going to America so as to look for fund for the country. And that is how we can be in a position also to care and also, see how we can be able to provide this information in the simplest term ever. For example, we saw in WFD, that is the World Federation of the Deaf, there was a hearing interpreter who was interpreting to a deaf interpreter. And
I
the
agree
deaf
with you.
person was doing it. True or false? But if we have this conception that deaf people can, God never sleeps. AI is there, is coming. It will sweep all interpreters. It will also sweep this media if we don't care. What am I saying? We should all join together. We should not just only promote one side. We always have the hearing, have these interviews every now and then. We should have even the deaf people to give their opinions. You can find even the deaf have better opinions.
True.
The media people should learn sign language. When a deaf person comes, you start saying this. Oh, that girl in the village. Oh, those signs that are like rural signs. Please, you, my friend, Sheila, your media team, do they know sign language?
Yeah,
You have failed the deaf community. In this month of September, it's Deaf Awareness Month.
I will train them.
High
I
five.
promise.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, same time, I want to add something about TV area. I have a concern about promoting. For example, we don't have enough information as assessment or how to access information through TV. They only have the interpreter during news, but any other program they don't have. So I want to ask the government about the social media, the people who are responsible with the social media. Why don't they employ a journalist? Because we have professional journalists, many of them who are professional. I think it's better they employ them. They can employ a deaf person who can read news. For example, we have Sign TV. They do the same thing. Yeah, it's not a different TV than any other TV. So I think this media, some TVs feel that they don't need a deaf person in their TV. So many people feel that it's hard to access a language. It's better for them to employ someone and fulfill it.
Yeah, I get to support that. Maybe those people are afraid of doing this because of money.
They depend on interpreter, yes, but they can also employ
So yes,
deaf.
we must lobby to change this perspective and say that deaf people are very expensive. The deaf people are not equated to a V8,
But also,
Must try and
I
be fair.
feel like about the advocacy to the government, as part of government work, like ABC television, it's a government television, maybe they can pick maybe 20-30% for the media action. For example, I'm a media person. I'm trying to work to do something which any other TV cannot do. So what do you say?
Okay, let me add this. Media stations, 7 and 9 news. That is not 100% beneficial to the deaf. That is where you are focusing now to bring the interpreter. We always have, whenever someone does wrong, the police arrest, right? For example, people think that if I break the law, or if I kill someone, or if I do something, I'll be favored by law. We should not employ an interpreter just for 7 and 9 news, and during the holidays, whenever the president is offering a speech, we don't know. Even when someone has died, we must, even in the breaking news, we must say, do you know Collins, the Minister of Health? He has already died. So that is the way we can also be able to lobby the deaf, them being able to do things. So for those things that we don't do, we try to make sure that we have full access of all information. Even in this month of September, we are opening up ourselves and saying the pains. Why are we suffering? We should be open and say what is giving us headaches for years. We are trying also to be like independent and see how we can be able to get more fruits.
Also at the same time, you have an idea of those who work on cameras. I think cameras, yeah. We have a challenge which we are facing as social media people, and they have not learned on how they place their cameras. For example, whenever there is a summit or a conference and they invite a deaf person with an interpreter, and the interpreter is interpreting on the screen. So some media team are not aware about this barrier. So I feel maybe they have that authority to cover everywhere, and they come passing in front of a deaf or an interpreter. But they forget that they have a person who depends on the hands. Remember, I always use my eyes to ear, and whenever a person passes in front of me, I miss a lot. So I think they need a lot of training. Whenever they are doing coverage, they must know that they are in a summit, and also everyone is working there. The second thing is social media. They must know how to cover about the disability, especially the deaf, because most of the people who are using social media, they benefit through using the name of a deaf people. They sign something, but for sure they are not qualified teachers or sign language interpreter. For example, in YouTube, you can see someone signing, but they're signing fake signs, and also the hearing people will learn about it and they see the difference. So they break our language, and also they break the language in the community. So we need to train these people, and also we should have the covenant or a policy that protect our language. So you can see many people are coming up with sign language, and if they are doing the wrong thing, they have to be arrested. So we need to protect our language, and whoever break it should be arrested. And also we need to protect deaf within social media, for example, Facebook, Twitter. You know, many people are using Facebook, but they don't have that policy. They don't have knowledge about the policy. You know, we can have hackers. You can find some time your photo in the social media, but you are not the person who opened that account. So we need to create an awareness, and also have good environment for people with disabilities, especially the deaf people. And also the information accessibility also is hard, but to get more information through social media.
Yes, also this has made something come up in my mind. Also in the social media, let's say at 7 to 7:30, we always have news, right? Then later on we have dramas, you know, some action, some you know, dramatic or romantic movies. Even the deaf people want to know what is happening. But now I can ask the medias to add captions. Even the deaf people can be able to read and understand what is happening in these dramas. There's some action movies which have captions. And also, sometimes the media, you're not fair. You don't have captions. But in YouTube, there's caption. Now, do you want us to suffer and buy bundles every time if you want to access something or information which is in media? Please give deaf opportunities, enough opportunities. Even some deaf don't have, that smart gadgets. How do you expect me with my Katululu to have YouTube, to be in a position to access YouTube? We want to know, like, this stole so-and-so's wife, he was killed. Those are the information we want to confirm and know. We want to enjoy. Some media which we have, if we, whenever there's that interpreter, we are not sure how many deaf people are watching. But now, why do you want to get benefits from us and you don't want even us there? Please, can we try and be equal? Thank you very much.
And also, I've also remembered something. Some social media, but not all. They have specific work on movies. We have actors.
Actors.
For example, a male or a female. So I'm sure
Yes.
the deaf community or the deaf can also act. When it comes to movie employment, so you can find a hearing person plays a role of a deaf person. That's not a professional. And remember, the person don't have that language. And then they come up playing the role of a deaf person. Why can't they give that opportunity to a deaf person? Because they have that kind of disability.
Okay, when a person is not in a knowledge of sign language and now starts doing this in the film, I feel that is abuse. That is like you're abusing me.
So it's not inclusive.
My heart is filled with the burning fire. If we play a deaf person, I'll now use the way of the deaf. But now if you bring a hearing, they use a very poor sign. Then later on, you find there's fights whenever we meet this person because we feel like, hey, you're abusing me, one. But if we get, if you want to do a film and want a role of a deaf person, employ a deaf person. You can also even employ an interpreter who can learn from this deaf person.
And
that
also,
can be good coordination.
Another area we want to ask people to, or the deaf people, for example, during the interview in TVs or YouTube, remember before we had said that we have different percentage of deafness. So whenever you call a deaf person to your interview, please make sure to allow them to be free whenever they're doing it. I know many people now are campaigning about the access of sign language and also the search of employment. But remember what? Deaf are allowed to choose their own interpreters. You cannot decide and say that the law says this, so you come, we give you the interpreter. No, that's not a right way to go. You are not fair to us. Whenever you do that, you are doing a wrong thing. Remember, that person who have not interacted with that deaf person will give you a wrong information. So allow them to be free and choose their own interpreters. But also it depends on where they are comfortable.
Yes, truly. Like right now, I just came here with my interpreter because he understands me very well. We are matching. You don't need to, discriminate me by bringing another interpreter who I'm not in I start saying, like, I start signing very slowly. Then the interpreter starts saying, hey, repeat. So that we need freedom of expression. By the time we call a deaf person in an interview, please don't tell the deaf person, don't tell them, say this or don't say this. No. Most medias do that. Sometimes they only say, don't say that, the president is bad. Hey, don't say this, don't say this. I have my own opinion. So we should encourage freedom. So we can see how even Rigathi Gachagua has spoken.
Also deaf up there.
We see how Mahora always speaks, right? He speaks whatever he wants, right? Even he can use even those dangerous words. But me as a deaf person, whenever I get that opportunity in a media,
Yeah.
you now tie me, hey.
So we have freedom for speech.
Hey, in the Constitution, what does it say? Freedom of expression. Yes! Please give it to the deaf people.
Wow. Awesome. This conversation is very sweet. I wish we had enough time to discuss more. But I hope more episodes will come as we go forward. So as you continue training and watching this podcast, please give all your comments, what you have understood, and also what you want us to add. Whatever we say, you say we will accept it and we will change. Whether it's a bad comment or a bad comment, we have no anything against you. So continue sending your comment about this podcast. And also in social media, we are creating awareness about cooperating with the deaf people, because it's a Deaf Awareness Month this month. So what we are expecting, we have talked about, and we are hoping for the best going forward. Thank you so much for watching this podcast. And Beyond Me podcast, we have better content. Share, comment, subscribe, and don't forget. Bye-bye.
Bye.